Hi, welcome to a FingerNailFixer video. Let's take a look at making a fun winter snowman. A couple things used in this video are a ring thing palette and glitter bomb from Profiles. So I've placed a couple layers of the glitter bomb number 4, which is kind of a purpley shimmer from Profiles, on the nail, and it is ready to go. And then using your favorite white gel polish, we are going to start building the snowman and using a dotting tool for the snowman, because we want to kind of dot the snow on, because the cool thing about a snowman is he's not perfect. When you make a snowman, he's kind of bulgy, the color isn't perfect, the edges aren't perfect. So instead of trying to do this with a brush and make all the edges perfect, we're going to do it with a dotting tool so that everything isn't smooth and perfect. Create your 3 circles for the snowman, and they don't need to be perfect circles. So don't get locked into or obsessed with, oh, I can't make a perfect circle. Stop that. Put your OCD in your pocket and just take that dotting tool and start dotting that white gel polish on there and going for kind of a circle-ish shape. Try not to touch the 2 circles together so that the gel polish doesn't bleed together and make it look like one giant blob. And as you're making the circles, kind of start in the center and work your way out. And it will make it a little easier to kind of visualize the shape. And think about that bottom one, how it kind of gets squished from the weight of the top 2, and make it a little more oval than the top 2 because it's kind of getting flattened out from the weight. So it's still mostly round, but it's a little compacted. So kind of take that into consideration as you're creating your shape, and then just dot your white gel polish in, because you don't want the color to be perfectly filled in and you don't want the edges to be perfectly smooth. You want it to have that compacted snow look. Once you're finished with the body of the snowman, come in and add some snow base. We're not going to worry about getting that snow base perfectly filled in or the color being perfect. Just dot some snow along there with your tool and then drag your tool through to create a little bit of texture, because we want that glitter to show through. The glitter is not only going to be our background night sky, it's also going to be our background falling snow. So it's going to do a couple of things for us. Cure that first layer of white so that your snowman base or foundation is cured in place. And let's start adding some details to the snowman. We're going to go ahead and give him a scarf. The scarf just adds a little bit of whimsy. If you have someone with really short nails, you can skip the scarf. Or if you have someone with really short nails, you can skip the top hat and do only the scarf. Something fun you can do with the scarf is make it school colors. If you have a school team that you follow, or coming into ball team seasons, if you follow a favorite football team, you can make it football team colors. Or if your client has just favorite colors, you can make the scarf favorite colors. And do dots with spaces in between for the scarf and make it in the shape of a Y. Then clean your dotting tool off, grab a brush, and come in and start working on the hat. The top hat is literally a line with a rectangle on top of it. And you can even use lines to make the rectangle and then connect all of the lines with a line on top. A small detail brush or a mini striping brush will work really well for the hat. And black is generally my go-to color for the top hat. You can absolutely use any color that you want. I like doing my snowmen with gel polish so that if I make mistakes, I can easily clean them up. And you can either use a very tiny dotting tool to create the eyes and the smile for your snowman, or you can use the tip of your brush. When we're done with those details in black, come back in with your dotting tool and get his buttons down the center. And then we're ready to cure this layer of details. Once that layer of details is cured, it's time to start adding some more details. And at each point, if your nails are short or the nails are narrow, each of these points where we cure, you can absolutely stop and be finished with your snowman. I'm going to give the snowman some arms. You can use a brown, you can use kind of a bronzy color, whatever makes you happy on the arms, and just kind of poke them into the side of that center piece of the snowman. Make sure you've anchored them into the white a little bit so that they're easy to see. Again, a detail brush or a mini striper is going to be really handy for that. Make sure they branch off just a little bit so it's obvious that they're limbs for the arms. Once you're finished with the arms, you can grab some orange gel polish and come in and work on a nose. Kind of put a dot where you want the back of your carrot nose to be. And once you know where you want the back of the nose to be, you can drag it forward to create the rest of the nose. You want to make sure you have enough gel polish on there to drag forward. So make sure you've got a good base and then drag it forward. And remember, you don't want it to be a perfect triangle. Carrots aren't perfect. So don't worry if you get a little shaky-handed or if it's a little crooked or a little wobbly. The perfection of your snowman is going to be in the imperfections. So don't get all worked up or worried about that. The next thing you can do is come in and add the second color to your scarf. Using the dotting tool, go in and add dots in between the dots we left previously for the scarf. And remember, this can be favorite colors, it can be ball team colors, it can be school colors. It literally can be anything that you want it. And when you're finished with the dots, you can come in and add fringe on the ends of the scarf with a brush, or you can just leave the scarf made out of dots. It's completely personal preference. Snowmen can be as basic or as detailed as you're comfortable making them. Another detail that you can add is putting a little bit of snow on the edges. It can be on the edges of the hat. You can put snow on the edges of the branches that you used for the arms. Adding falling snow kind of brings them out from against the background. It makes it a little more obvious that the arm branches are there. It brings the hat out from against the background. And you can just cure that layer so that you're ready to keep building on the next layer. Generally, once I've cured that layer, it's nice to kind of go back in and add anywhere that needs the color to pop a little bit more, somewhere that maybe needs a second layer of color. If your gel polish just needs kind of brightened up, maybe you've used some yellow and it could use a little more yellow, or maybe there are some spaces where you don't want your white to be as see-through as it is and you want to fill that in. But keep in mind that some of those spaces where the white is see-through is what makes it look more realistic. So kind of keep those things in mind. All of these little finishing details where you're adding the extra color, making it really pop, just really kind of finishes up your snowman. And this is all personal preference. You don't have to go in and add that additional color if you don't want to, or if the nail is really small and it's not noticeable. When you're finished, cure that additional color. Once everything is cured, you are ready to apply top coat. Make sure you seal all of your edges and give the nail a nice application of top coat, sealing everything in, and then cure that top coat. You can absolutely stop at this point. Your snowman can be completely finished, done, and ready to go. Remove the top film with your isopropyl alcohol, 99%, and he can walk out the salon just like that. Or if you feel like your snowman needs just a little more dimension and personality, what you can do, since you've removed that top film with some IPA, is come in with your white gel polish and place it where you would like to add a little bit of dimension. Grab your dotting tool and kind of add it into some of that snow. So let's add it where we've got the fallen snow on his hat, on his arms, and maybe even to some of the snow on the ground. Because we're going to sugar this snow and make it look three-dimensional so that it adds some visual texture to our design. Even putting a little bit on the snowman himself. Making sure to kind of taper it off where it would fall off along the sides. Again, your snowman is as simple or as detailed as you want him to be. Let's go ahead and do the black buttons as well, just for fun. Once you have added the details that you want to sugar and make dimensional, before you cure them, bring in the polymer powder that you want to use, aka the acrylic powder. Sprinkle that polymer powder over. I'm using clear, so a clear polymer powder. And make sure that you're turning that finger side to side so that you get that polymer powder in all those nooks and crannies of the gel polish. Tap off the excess and then sprinkle it on again. And then tap off the excess and cure. When that comes out from curing, you're ready to wipe it off with your 99% isopropyl alcohol. And you have a 3D sugared design. So not only do you have a really fun detailed snowman, but he also has some dimensional touches that really just add to the look. I hope you had a lot of fun with this and that you're able to customize it for the length and shape of nails that you want to do them on. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you again in another tutorial.